Welcome to day 6. This week we will shift gears to construction, and you will learn about how a house comes together step by step, and so you can walk in any properties with confidence and speak the same language as contractors. And we will go through every step, every stage, from foundation all the way to finishes. So let's start. So, how a house is actually built. We'll walk through it in the same order it's built on site. First is the foundation, usually made of poured concrete or concrete blocks. It supports the entire house and keeps the house stable and dry. Think like think basement or crawl spaces. Then framing. This is the skeleton of the house made of wood or steel. It shapes the walls, floors, and roofs. Basically, it's what gives the home its form. Next is the roof, usually made with wood trusses and covered with shingles or metal. It protects everything underneath from water. And finally, finishes. Drywall, flooring, paint, kitchen cabinets, the part that make a house feel like a home. Each step matters, but if the structure underneath isn't right, the pretty finishes won't matter in the long run. Okay, so let's walk through what the stages actually looks like. This first image is the foundation. You can see the concrete footing and foundation walls with the rebar sticking out. That steel gives the strength, and it's what ties the house structure into the ground. Next, the framing stage. This is where the skeleton of the home is built. Interior walls usually is 2x4 lumber, but for exterior wall we use 2x6. And you might ask why 2x6? Is because if you have a 2x6, you have a thicker wall, and they allow for thicker insulation, which matters here in Ontario, Canada, which is a cold climate. And finally, the finished home. You will notice the brick exterior, classical symmetrical layout with a centered front door and dormers on top. That's not just pretty; it's balanced and timeless. It's the kind of curb appeal that sells. Now, let's let's go over the three key parts that hold up your houses. The first one is beams, column, and joist. Beam. So let's go through the beam. Beams are the strong horizontal pieces that carry heavy load, like the floor or roof. And then you have columns. Columns are the vertical support under beams, and you will see them in basement or open spaces. And then we have joists. Joists run across and hold up your floors and ceiling. They tie everything together. In wood-framed home, joists are a must. Without them, your floor wouldn't hold up. If you're flipping a house, don't move or cut any of these without knowing their job. They are what keeps the structure standing. So beams carry, column hold, and joist span. Know them before touching anything. And on the next slide, I'm going to show it to you guys how they look like. Okay, so let's look at these elements in action. First photo. Here's a beam made of wood. But beams can also be steel. It cannot be like it can be anything. It can be steel or it can be concrete. It can be wood, and it's just used when you need strength over a long span. And second photo, these are like columns under an arch entry. They help hold up the structure and sometimes help define a space too. And third photo, these are floor joists, which you often see from the basement running across the space to support the floor above. And right through them runs a beam, vertical to the joist, carrying the loads down to the foundation. Now, here's a rule of thumb. If you ever unsure whether something is load bearing, here's how you can spot it. Look at the direction of the joist. If they run perpendicular to a wall, it's likely a load bearing wall. Also check for vertical beams and columns under the wall in question. That's also a big clue that it's load bearing. When flipping a house, understanding plumbing, electrical, and HVAC system is crucial for design and profitability. Plumbing. Plumbing, for example, if you want to move the kitchen to the other side of the house, you will need to reroute plumbing lines. Relocating a sink or dishwasher could cost you thousands in labor and materials. So always plan your layout around the existing system. Electrical. Imagine upgrading a home and finding the wiring is outdated. If the wiring can't handle modern appliances, you'll need to rewire the whole house. This can be a huge cost, but it is necessary to ensure safety and attract buyers who don't want to deal with electrical issues. HVAC, which is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. It stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. If you come across any old furnace, that's an opportunity to replace it with an energy efficient model. Not only will this save buyers money on utility bills, but it also adds a modern, attractive features that boost your property value as well. By understanding and factoring in these systems, you can design a home layout that minimize cost and maximize your flip profitability. Okay, so this picture one is basically the type of plumbing that we used. PEX, sometimes people use PEX or PVC pipe, but there's a difference between them. PEX is flexible, durable, and it's great for cold climate, while PVC is a little bit cheaper and it's way rigid. So this one, like one of them is on the left side is PEX, and on the right side is PVC. And when it comes to the second picture, uh, always whenever you visit a house to flip, always see if it's a knob and tube wiring. If it's a knob and tube, then you need to upgrade it because it's outdated and it's unsafe at the same time. And a new panel makes the home safer and much more attractive to buyers. And the third one, it's furnace and water heater. So the water heater is this white white tube or whatever you call it, and this is the furnace. And check, like when you visit a house for a flipping, or if you want to buy it for yourself, always check the age of the furnace and water heaters. If they are over 10 to 15 years old, consider replacing them. Outdated system can be a deal breaker. Okay, so the exterior envelope uh, of a house as roofing, siding, windows, and doors is a key protection and curb appeal. And we are going to break it down here for flipping purposes. First, roofing. Always check for missing shingles or leak. A new roof can cost you between $5,000 to $15,000, but increase home value if you replace it. Minor repair can be a cost-effective option than just replacing the whole roof. Second one, siding. Look for cracks or water damages. If the siding is damaged, consider replacing it with vinyl or fiber cement for durability and better curb appeal. The third one is windows and doors. Inspect drafts and broke seal on windows. Energy efficient double pane or great upgrades. If you have a single pane, just upgrade it to double pane. You're going to save a lot of money on the energy, and there's like a lot of home buyers are interested, to see the upgraded windows. Okay, so earlier we talked about the exterior envelope, which includes the roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Now let's look at how these elements are installed and why it's important for flipping houses. The first image is siding and break on the house. Here we have a combination of siding on the top floor and break on the bottom. As a flipper, pay attention to the overall condition of these materials. They should be intact and properly installed to avoid costly repairs later. And second image is basically showing the way that they install the siding over a water barrier. Before installing siding, you have a water barrier. This is critical to prevent from moisture getting inside the walls and causes damage. And the third one is basically it shows the way that the brake is installed with anchors to plywood. Next, we see the installation of brake, which is anchored to the plywood for stability. And you would see a gap between the brick and the water barrier. This gap is designed to allow airflow, reducing the risk of moisture buildup and mold. And the fourth picture, which is the guy holding that steel beam, is basically this guy's installing a lintel above window before installing the brick. And before the brick is installed around the window, a lintel or a beam is placed above the window to support the weight of the brick. This is crucial for the structural integrity of the home, ensuring that the weight doesn't cause any issues down the line. Okay, now when it comes to deciding between renovating or building from the scratch or new construction, it's important to weigh on the pros and cons of each approach. Let's break it down. Renovation involves updating or improving of an existing structure. It's about enhancing what's already there, whether it's a home, room, a building. It's just without starting from scratch. A new construction, on the other hand, means building a completely new structure from the ground up. It gives a full control over design and layout, but comes with a longer timeline and higher cost. In short, the renovation can save time and money if the home is in good condition, but new construction offers full creative control and modern standards. And now let's take a quick look at how a house, built from start to scratch. This is a short video that will walk you through the entire process from the foundation to the final touches, giving you a better understanding of each steps involved. Going to increase the speed of it. Let's see. This is basically laying the foundation. You see they're digging the ground. These are the foundation wall. Those are the rebars. This is the concrete truck. They pour concrete. Those are the CMU block that's common in Ontario, Canada. So the seal plate, that's the beam. Let me pause there. That's the beam that I was talking about. This big one, this is the beam that carries the load. And those are the joists. So this is yeah, and you have like the plywood on top of it. The plywood. And these are the walls that they are building. They're building it on the floor and then they lift it. These are the partition walls. These are the joists. This is the roof. This is for deck. There's for stairs. And that's about it. So that's about it for the day. And I will see you guys on the next slide.